Shark Tank has had roughly 1,000 pitches air so far, and one stands out as possibly the worst ever.
Maneesh, you're a get the out of here.
Oh!
Okay, well, are you all out?
We're all out.
This pitch goes so badly that after it aired, Maneesh even started to get death threats. Now, this video isn't a critique of Maneesh. We don't know anything about his personality based on a TV show, but there's a lot we can learn from this pitch. Specifically, we'll go over 5 common mistakes that instantly make people like you less. We'll also review what you can do instead to make better impressions in business meetings, job interviews, and even when meeting new friends or going on dates. Let's start by looking at the first 10 seconds. That's where Maneesh sets the tone for this interaction.
Hi Sharks, my name is Maneesh Sethi and I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. And I'm seeking $500,000.
His first mistake is looking down when he walks into the room. When he does look up to make eye contact, he doesn't smile and he speaks with a flat voice. This may seem like nitpicking, but studies show that first impressions form in the first 7 seconds of an interaction, which means an interviewer, potential client, or date are all deciding if they like you before they actually know much about you. Those first 7 seconds are an easy chance to give yourself an edge. For a quick comparison, watch another entrepreneur from the same episode.
Hello, Sharks. My name is Aaron Marino, and I'm here today seeking a $100,000 investment for 10% equity stake in my new company, Pete and Pedro.
Aaron makes eye contact and speaks through a smile, and you can see Mark and Barbara smiling back just from mirroring his energy. Now, when Maneesh gets into his product idea, the Sharks start to get interested, but his demeanor hurts him again. Watch.
Pavlok helps you become aware by alerting you when you do behaviors you'd like to reduce. Then simply press the button, and Pavlok releases a mild electric sensation that helps you reduce cravings. You can laugh, but it's actually something very serious.
I am laughing.
It releases a mild electric sensation.
Maneesh gets defensive at their laughter, but he didn't have to. When someone laughs at something you say or do, you get to choose if they're laughing with you or at you. His mistake was reacting like they were laughing at him. Rather than scolding the people he's trying to raise money from, Maneesh could have smiled, laughed along, and said something like, "I know it seems ridiculous, but wait till you see our testimonials." The room would be feeling good and he could transition right back to his presentation. So far, things haven't gone great, but it's not awful. These next 2 clips are where Maneesh starts to permanently lose people.
In a study that we based our first experiment with, it was a aversive conditioning study that was done in 1988 with 832 subjects.
So wait. Let's qualify.
After 5
you
days,
said we based our first study on, right? Suggesting that you did the study, right?
So I'll tell you about a study we did right after, but you can actually look through our evidence pamphlet where we have 21 clinical trials.
The experiments and trials Maneesh is referring to are not specific to Pavlok, and you can see on Mark's face that he thinks Maneesh is stretching the truth. You see something similar a minute later.
What percentage of the time does it not work?
It doesn't work if you don't want it to work. So it doesn't.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, of course.
This is a very common mistake made in the business world and even the dating world. You think admitting your weaknesses makes you look bad, but it's actually trying to hide your weaknesses that makes people dislike you. People can partner with you knowing you're imperfect, but if they think you're lying to sell yourself, they never will. The other less obvious mistake Maneesh makes is not answering the question behind the question. Mark's real question is, before I invest in this, how do I know it actually works? Look what Maneesh had in his back pocket but never said.
Damon wasn't there.
Yeah, so that's really unfortunate.
Which is part of, yeah.
Yes, he used Pavlok and he got over 2 serious bad habits.
Yeah.
And because of that, they couldn't have him on the show with me. And it was like the worst because he literally uses the product.
Imagine if Maneesh had said, I don't know the exact % of time it doesn't work, but we have a 4.5-star rating from our customers, and the reason Damon isn't here is because he's a customer and he credits Pavlok with getting over 2 bad habits. He would have gotten a very different reaction. This happens all the time in all of our lives. When an interviewer says, "Tell me about your last job," there's a question behind the question. They don't just want to hear about your last job, they want to hear why your last job prepared you to do this one well. When a first date asks you where you're from or what you do or why you're single, what they're really trying to figure out is if they're attracted to your personality and if the 2 of you are a good match. Answer the question behind the question and things will go much better for you. Now let's look at when things go really badly for Maneesh.
If you use it on sugar, after about 3 or 4 days on like a cookie or tortilla chips, you'll start to notice the flavor changes. Now what's interesting about it in the first...
start to notice the flavor changes.
Yeah, you do.
You can see his frustration is starting to leak out.
Guy in the room, you can't be that stupid, Robert, to even think there's any legitimacy.
Can I just listen to it?
Calm down.
Gosh, you guys are making me so ADD. All right, let me talk about the...
We make you ADD.
You guys make it happen. All right.
Maneesh, you're a strange dude.
At this point, despite the tough questions, no one has dropped out, but they start to, specifically citing his presentation and not his product as the reason why.
find your presentation is exhausting and complicated, and I couldn't imagine having the energy to deal with
This
that.
doesn't sound very positive, Barbara.
I'm out.
Mark Cuban lays it out well here.
If you would have just said, you know what, this is a reminder, and everybody is different, so we have different ways to remind you, right? But you went so over the top with nonsense, it is everything but a legitimate product. And for those reasons, I'm out.
Despite all this, Maneesh still gets an offer from Kevin. He says Maneesh is hard to listen to, but that he likes the product idea. It's Maneesh's response to that offer that gets him thrown out of the room.
It's an offer.
It's an offer. This is the problem. Mr. Wonderful, like, I can't work with you.
Not a great start, and it only gets worse from here. Maneesh went into the meeting knowing he would never accept an offer from Kevin. He should have planned what he was going to say if this happened. Instead, we get this.
Why don't you want the structure of that offer? Why not?
The structure is actually quite good. It's the person. I would take an offer from anybody besides Mr. Wonderful.
And not surprisingly, that doesn't go over well with any of the sharks.
Maneesh, you're a get the out of here.
Oh!
Are you all out?
You.
We're all out.
Done, Maneesh.
All right, Sharks.
Thank you
See you
for
very
coming.
much.
Won't want to be ya.
Kevin's anger isn't because Maneesh turned down an offer. That happens all the time on the show. It's because this feels like an attack on his character. Maneesh is being critical of Kevin as a person instead of pointing to a specific past behavior. So how should Maneesh have handled this? First, let's watch him explain the real reason he said no.
Why did you turn down the offer?
The reason why is because Mr. Wonderful is on TV saying that 3.5 billion people living in poverty, living on $1 a day, is a good thing. He's like, it makes them strive to work harder. And I'm like, I don't want someone like that working in my company.
Imagine if after getting his offer, Maneesh had said, Mr. Wonderful, I think you're a fantastic investor, but I heard you give a speech on poverty that makes me think we aren't a good fit. It's more accurate to how Maneesh feels and doesn't make him look bad to the other sharks or the viewers. The key to having any hard conversation like this is to separate the person from the specific behavior you don't like. So in your own life, don't call someone a bad roommate or a bad friend. Instead, call out their specific behavior and how it makes you feel. Now, a fair criticism here is, yeah, but you've had time to think about this. Maneesh was scrambling to come up with something on the spot in a high-pressure situation. It's not fair to expect him to have the perfect answer. And you're right. So if you know an important conversation is coming, sit down beforehand and think through the tough questions and situations you might find yourself in. Give yourself infinite time and calm nerves so you don't have to rely on being quick on your feet. If this all seems like a lot to take in and you want a more linear, step-by-step guide to mastering these skills, you may like our program, Charisma University. It's a 30-day program guaranteed to make you more confident and charismatic. For example, one day of the program will teach you how to craft fascinating answers to the most common questions, like where are you from and what do you do? In another day, you'll learn quick, easy exercises to boost your confidence in moments that normally make you nervous. You can read more about the program with the link below, but I think the best way to let you know about the program is just to read what past members have said. So here are a few things that CU members have written in. I am way more confident now having gone through the daily action guides, and I can see a big difference in the intention and respect that I get. It makes life so much more fun. I don't think it's an overstatement to say charisma is literally a gateway to getting anything you want in life. Another member wrote, my biggest breakthrough has been gaining more confidence. If you knew me a year ago, you'd see a socially awkward guy, but that same guy had hidden confidence and charisma that has now been unleashed. If you're reading this or listening right now, think about who you want to be in a year. This course will teach you how to be that person. This last message is from a guy who's seen improvement in both his business and social life. He says, the way I enter a room now, whether it be a party or a business meeting, I notice the presence, the comfort, and authority I bring into it, and I feel that other people feel it too. I'm like a magnet. I've received a lot of feedback from family, friends, and random people I've just met. They can let their guard down and talk about things they haven't dared to talk about with anyone else. To add lastly, my success rate with women has increased by an order of magnitude. You can see more success stories like those in the comments if you decide to join the program. If you do join, it comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee. Given that it's only a 30-day program, that gives you plenty of time to go through the entire thing and see how it changes your life. If you don't like it, you can get every penny back, no questions asked. That's how confident we are that you're going to love Charisma University. If you want to learn more, click the link on screen now or below in the description. We've had over 5,000 people go through the program and transform their charisma, and I'd love for you to do the same. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.